is ABC-7 at 5.
A small makeshift memorial has been set up where an El Paso police officer was killed yesterday afternoon. There are some flowers, a white teddy bear, and a sign with a message for the family of the officer. New information today, we've learned that officer is Adrian Arellano, a 10-year veteran of the police force.
Police say he was off duty yesterday while helping guide a funeral procession. They say 54-year-old Maria Soto disregarded the police escort and drove onto the path of Officer Arellano, who T-boned her car with his motorcycle. EMS crews took the woman and one of her passengers to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Estela Casas.
And I'm Rick Cabrera.
The crash happened near Edgemere and Yarborough in East El Paso yesterday, just before 2 p.m. And today, we're learning more about the officer, the crash, and the community's response. ABC-7's Andrew J. Polk joined us live with our top story. Andrew.
Rick and Estela, there's been an outpouring of support for the officer's family, both near the crash site and online as well. Now, Arellano was thrown from his motorcycle and was taken to the hospital, where he later died from his injuries yesterday. Now, signs of support for his family and fellow officers like this have been going up on social media since yesterday as well. Now, police have declined to give any other information about Arellano or his service and say that there's no decision yet on any possible charges against Soto. That will have to wait until an investigation into the crash is complete. Sheriff Richard Wiles, who was the El Paso chief of police when Arellano would have gone through the academy, says that there might be need for there to be a review of off-duty escort policy.
It's certainly a sad day for El Paso, and we hate to lose anybody in a traffic accident. Our job in law enforcement, of course, is to preserve life, and whenever we lose somebody in a fatality, it's a tragedy for them and their family and for our community.
Now, Wiles himself actually tried to ban the practice of funeral officer escorts entirely back in 2006, but had to reverse that due to community pressure. Coming up at 6, we'll hear more from him on what happened then and what might need to happen now. Estela?
Okay, Andrew, thank you very much. Also new this afternoon, police identify the motorcyclist killed in a crash, and they say he might have been riding drunk. ABC-7's round-the-clock crew first told you about the crash during Good Morning El Paso this morning. Police say 25-year-old David Cedillo was riding his bike on the 700 block of Thorn in West El Paso. Investigators believe Cedillo was thrown off his bike when he hit a curb shortly after midnight. He was wearing a helmet, but still died because of his injuries.
Are the men still there? I don't know. You don't know? I don't know. They put us in the office. They put you in the office? Yes, I need a fireman too. Please help me.
It's been more than 25 years, and that frantic 911 call still haunts the people of Las Cruces. 2 armed men walked into a bowling alley on February 10th, 1990. They shot 7 people, killing 4. Among the dead, girls ages 2, 6, and 13. Police have not been able to solve the case, and the cold-blooded killers could still be out there.
The 25th anniversary of the crime passed a month ago. ABC-7's Josie Ortegon is live from our New Mexico mobile newsroom with a new development police hope will bring them new clues to investigate.
Now Crime Stoppers is boosting the reward, and the information is now being publicized in Las Cruces, including on the rotating electronic billboard just behind me here. Now here's a closer look at that information. The victims' pictures are included on there as well, offering the now $25,000 reward. Crime Stoppers and Las Cruces police are trying to find information that leads to an arrest in the bowling alley massacre that happened February 10th, 1990. 4 people were killed, 3 of them children. Las Cruces police spokesman Dan Trujillo says for a long time, the reward was only $1,000. The local Las Cruces Doñana Crime Stoppers chapter voted to up that reward to $25,000. The money is coming from Crime Stoppers funds, which are made available largely through court fees here locally. One of the victims' relatives tells us the new reward will help breathe new life into the investigation.
It's been a long time, but I know in my heart somebody out there knows what happened. They know who did it. They have leads that maybe they don't think what they know would lead to it, but I guarantee you the answers are out there. I guarantee the answers out there, and it begins in Las Cruces.
The number to call Crime Stoppers is 1-800-222-TIPS. Live in Las Cruces with our New Mexico mobile newsroom, Josie Ortegon, ABC-7.
Let's hope the increase pays off. Josie, thank you. New at 5, he was a former Los Angeles police officer wanted for murder. Investigators say he's armed and dangerous, and he was last seen in El Paso. Former rookie police officer Henry Solis is accused of getting into a fight with a man, then shooting and killing him. Investigators say it happened in Sonoma, California, while Solis was off duty. On Tuesday, LAPD Chief Charlie Beck fired Solis, calling him a dishonor to the organization. According to a warrant, Solis' father told FBI agents he drove his son from California to El Paso, where he dropped him off at a bus station. That was the last time the father saw Solis. If you have seen him here in El Paso, call police immediately.
Rick, a disturbing story out of Colorado. We want to warn you, some of the information you're about to hear is graphic and disturbing. Police in Longmont, Colorado say this woman, Donnell Lane, lured a pregnant woman to her house by selling her baby clothes on Craigslist. When the pregnant woman arrived, police say Lane stabbed her, opened her belly, and ripped her unborn baby from her womb. According to court documents, Lane told her family she was pregnant. She even asked her husband to go with her to a prenatal appointment yesterday. When the husband arrived to pick her up, Lane told him she had a miscarriage and showed him a baby gasping for breath and for air in a bathtub. The husband drove Lane to a nearby ER where doctors were already treating the baby's real mother. Doctors and investigators immediately put two and two together, and the child's mother is expected to recover, but the baby died. Today, the DA explained why his office has not filed murder charges yet.
The issue of whether or not murder charges are appropriate involving a case involving the death of a fetus or of a late-term pregnancy is always a difficult issue. Under Colorado law, essentially, there's no way murder charges can be brought if it's not established that the fetus lived as a child outside the body of the mother for some period of time. I don't know the answer yet as to whether that could be established.
Lane was arrested on suspicion of attempted first-degree murder and other charges. A doctor told investigators the incision in the mother's belly was well performed and would have required some research.
The investigation is over. Today, the City of El Paso's Health Department gave ABC-7 its final update on the tuberculosis exposure at Providence Memorial Hospital. After a 7-month investigation, health officials identified 859 patients exposed to TB. The department was able to contact 850 of those patients, and out of those patients, 766 were screened. 11 tested positive for TB, but 6 of those tests were false positives because of the BCG vaccine. The health department says there are now 0 active cases of TB, but parents need to be vigilant.
Some of the babies who were exposed and tested negative, there's always a possibility that it could be a very slow-growing tuberculosis, and they're really not out of the woods yet. So we're recommending to parents and physicians, keep an eye on these babies, and over the next several months, make sure that if any of the symptoms appear, that they're checking with their doctors and being tested again right away.
It was in August of last year that Providence reported one of its employees tested positive for tuberculosis. That employee had daily contact with babies in the hospital.
To Star Trek weather now, an ABC-7 photographer recorded these beautiful images in northwest El Paso today. You can see the Franklin Mountains and the clouds, but no more rain. That is why our Storm Track weather team has allowed its first alert to expire. Nicole Gomez is standing by with our first forecast. Hi, Nicole.
Hey there, Estela. We haven't seen any rain in El Paso yet, but it's still possible that we might see rain with the next system moving in from the west. So let's take a quick look at Doppler radar. Notice just north of El Paso, south of El Paso, and out to our west, that's where most of the activity is taking place. Now we'll travel towards Sierra Blanca, Van Horn, and as you see, it's very light green and darker green, so light rain moving through Sierra Blanca. Now we'll travel up towards TRC, Elephant Butte, also tracking some of the darker greens, heavier rainfall falling towards Elephant Butte, and some scattered activity around Silver City. But now as we zoom out here, notice scattered rainfall, dropping rainfall in portions of Arizona, Tucson, Phoenix, and that system is tracking towards our region. Current temperatures 70 degrees, partly cloudy in El Paso with west winds at 14 miles per hour. So again, still tracking some rainfall for tonight. Just how much rain are we expecting? That answer in your full forecast.
Nicole, thank you. They say everything's bigger in Texas. Well, one of the biggest music festivals in the world is going on in our state's capital.
It's a huge party. I mean, it's thousands and thousands of people from all over the world that go to Austin.
How an El Paso business owner is giving those crowds a taste of the Sun City when it comes to music and food. Plus,
they're 18-0 in the Big Ten, and they're going down.
The leader of the Aggies women's basketball team makes a daring prediction as the team leaves Las Cruces to play against one of the best teams in the country.
This is ABC 7 at 5, where news comes first.